Hey, what's up, sports fans? Welcome to another edition of FOX54's Sports Extra. That's Gabe Glassman. I'm Mo Carter, and we have officially hit the halfway point of the year. It is May 31st. I mean, just about 6 months down and 6 months to go, my friend.
Hey, if you want to do a little bit more math, we're less than a quarter of the year away to football season.
Indeed.
And we're basically in the midst of everything spring sports right now. You got NBA finals, you got Stanley Cup finals, you got baseball season, you got everything going on right now. But great, I love it.
Indeed. Hey, a jam-packed show coming your way, and we're going to tell you about it right now. What's on tap, Gabe?
All right, well, the Alabama Crimson Tide continue their march to a title at the Women's College World Series. While the local JUCO team tried to capture a natty in Oxford, we've got the highlights. And this weekend, AEW invaded Huntsville, and I had a chance to sit down with one of their stars.
All right, the big wigs of the Southeastern Conference making their way to Destin this week for the annual spring meetings. I've got a recap of that. Plus, the U.S. men's national soccer team is fully in place and ready to compete for a World Cup. And we'll wrap things up with Best of the Week. We'll start things off in the world of softball. Choccolocco Park in Oxford has seen a lot of action over the last couple of weeks, no matter if it was high school or college. Today, it was a host site for a JUCO National Championship. The Mustangs from Northeast Alabama Community College in Rainsville needing one more win to capture that natty. Standing in their way, Temple College. The Leopards strike first. 2 on, it's Kaya Ratu ripping one into deep left field. Camera first can't find it, but I saw the ball go over the left field wall. It's gone, her fourth of the national tourney. Temple on top 3-0. Here come the Mustangs, though, in the third. Marty McCluskey ripping a base hit in the center field. She will bring home 2 runs, and the Mustangs now trail 3-2. Moments later, Northeast Alabama ties it up. It'll be Francesca Lump coming through with a shot in the left field. She brings home a runner for an RBI single. Kylie Weston will come around and score. We are tied at 3 apiece. And following that, it was all about the Mustangs. Emery Burke, the Boaz High grad, delivering a 3-run shot in the deep right field. Kiss that baby goodbye. 6-3 at that point. They add an insurance run. And guess what? They are celebrating tonight in Rainsville. Northeast Alabama Community College is a national champion. Congratulations to the Mustangs. Going to show you a little bit of that celebration, too.
Yeah.
Almost ran over the lady holding the trophy, but everybody was A-OK.
Only the second year of that program, too, Mo. Don't forget that. Dude, congratulations to the Mustangs over there.
Indeed.
All right, in Oklahoma City, the Alabama Crimson Tide are fighting for a spot in the Women's College World Series semifinal. They're up against Nebraska on Saturday, who are riding a 27-game winning streak heading into the matchup. Let's take it to OKC. Bottom first, 2 outs. Marley Giles at the dish. Drives this one, center field. It's going, it is gone! A 255-foot home run gets us started, and the Tide are up 3. But here comes Nebraska. We'll go top 4, 2 outs. Hannah Camden pops this one, center field, virtually the same spot, tracking back over the wall. And Husker softball stand up. It's alive and well. The lead is cut to 3 as a result of that laser shot. Alabama looks to respond. Jenna Young puts this one in left field. Base hit down. Kristen White sent home. She will be standing up. An RBI single puts the lead back to 4. And Alabama will lead the rest of the way. They punched their ticket to the Women's College World Series semifinal. Let's hear from head coach Patrick Murphy.
We didn't give him any momentum, had a solo home run, but then we came right back, and I think we scored. Marley had a huge hit, and, if you're familiar with Alabama, our slogan is where legends are made, and she solidified that tonight, both of them. So it was just a great win for us against a really, really good team, and, I see why they won the Big Ten tournament, and had won like 30 games in a row, so just a great team.
All right, so Alabama continues to roll through the Women's College World Series. Coming up next is a spot in the semifinals. They'll face either UCLA or Texas Tech. Those teams are battling out right now in extra innings. No matter who wins, Alabama will face them Monday night in Oklahoma City, and I have highlights Monday night right here on Fox 54. Down on the Plains, Auburn trying to avoid being eliminated by UCF, and they do so by beating the Knights 9-3. The Tigers will now face Milwaukee in about an hour's time down at Plainsman's Park. Over in Tuscaloosa, Alabama trying to secure a spot in the Super Regionals. Right now, the Crimson Tide lead Oklahoma State 5-4 in the 7th inning. All right, everyone, let's switch gears to sports entertainment. All Elite Wrestling returning to the Rocket City this past weekend. And before AEW Collision steps inside the Von Braun Center, one star stepped inside of our ring. Gabe Lastman sat down with AEW star Speedball Mike Bailey, who's in the spotlight right now in the AEW world.
You started with AEW just a little over a year ago. How would you summarize your time in AEW so far?
It's been fantastic. Honestly, it's been overwhelming. So much has happened so fast and continues to happen. The last few weeks have been going crazy, but I started doing professional wrestling when I was 15 years old in 2005. So it took me nearly 20 years to get to AEW, to get to the very top of professional wrestling, to get to somewhere where the best wrestle.
There's not a lot of other wrestlers that do this, at least to my knowledge. You have your own YouTube channel, and every single week you are giving us the backstage access pass. What made you want to start doing that in the first place?
I want to say about 2015 on until the COVID pandemic, right, where the world shut down. I basically traveled the world and just wrestled. And after the pandemic, borders were pretty much closed down, and I was starting to train people in Montreal. I had a bunch of students, and I had a larger platform, but I wasn't able to wrestle internationally yet. So I wanted a chance to show the people that I had been training with to a larger public. So that's why I started the vlog. And then what people really hung on to is seeing everything that goes down behind the wrestling show, right? You only see the match, but so much of the fun stuff happens backstage and behind the scenes. I think that people watch AEW Dynamite on a Wednesday and then they enjoy the show, but they want more. They want to see what they missed, what else is there, and that's when, you know, it leads to a whole other world online of content.
Let's talk about Jet Speed, because right now it's in turmoil, at least according to the fans. You have a big match next week. You'll be fighting for the TNT Championship against your former tag team partner, Kevin Knight. I mean, what are the emotions in that? That's your former tag team partner right there. So what are you expecting when we come to Richmond, Virginia next week?
I mean, it's going to be the fight of a lifetime, right? Kevin and I have wrestled before. Our last match was in the Continental Classic, and that was a great match. We both came out of that so much stronger. And I mean, after a year of being in a tag team together, we really have formed a bond and gotten to know each other really well. And I mean, it was shocking to me that Kevin did what he did and he attacked Darby Allin, and I gave him a chance to, you know, to make things right on Wednesday. And I did what I had to do. I'm at peace with myself. I'm honestly not surprised he attacked me after what he did to Darby Allin, but you know, I couldn't live with myself if I didn't at least offer him a chance to make things right. And he turned it down. He decided the path he wanted to go down, and that's fine with me, you know. Jet Speed is over as a tag team, but Jet Speed continues. Just, we're opponents now.
Awesome interview with Speedball. Hey, the Big Ten, ACC, Big 12, they all want to go to 24 teams with the CFP. But guess who doesn't want it? The SEC. We'll talk to Greg Sankey about the ongoing debate next on Sports Extra.
Ow.
What's going on?
Now my car needs new struts and I can't afford it.
Well, have you called Budget Breaks? How?
Visit budgetbreaks.com for locations, coupons, and special bonus offers. Budget Breaks.
Turn everyday spending into more fun. Earn unlimited 2% in rewards when you spend outside Academy. My Academy Rewards MasterCard, the official card of fun.
Babe?
When trouble trickles into your life, Alpha is there wading those waters with you. Swift, sure, right when you need them. Because action is better than excuses. And handled is better than hoping. They'll cover the cleanup, so you can focus on what matters most. That's life with Alpha.
The radical left tries to weaken our culture, our country, and our elections. Not in Alabama. I'm Wes Allen. As Secretary of State, I fought liberals and won. I banned curbside voting, banned absentee ballot application harvesting, and helped put the cheaters in handcuffs. I'm Wes Allen. As your Lieutenant Governor, I'll fight every day to keep the radicals from stealing what we hold dear in Alabama.
conservative record, not rhetoric. Wes Allen.
I will never stop fighting for Alabama values.
Now, at McDonald's, a McDouble is $2.50. So Miles, Jaden, and Carl have a plan. It's called McDouble Macro Monday. Get more value when you order from the under $3 menu.
What are you adding now?
I am going to save so much money.
I told you, Budget Brakes will fix your steering, suspension, and brakes for the lowest price in town, guaranteed.
Guaranteed?
Guaranteed.
Guaranteed.
Visit budgetbrakes.com.
FOX54 congratulates Mr. Electric, Best in Business Award recipient.
Welcome back, everyone. Two indices that are constantly changing and close to yours truly, media and college football. The latter continues to have a debate about expanding their postseason, especially on the P4 level. But the SEC, not one of those conferences on board. Greg Sankey and many SEC coaches were meeting this past week in Destin, Florida. And, of course, a hot topic was an expanded CFP. But Commissioner Sankey, he discussed that with the media and was like, look, I don't want to go there. Now, they continue to talk about staying at 12 or going to 16, but of course that'll also impact the SEC football championship. The college football playoff model also cannot expand without the SEC's approval.
You know, December and January are crowded months relative to football, particularly on days where you'd be seeking to play college football games in a playoff that could be expanded. You know, what happens in the regular season, I've talked about that before. And I think part of our educational effort is understanding the selection process now. So if we came out with better understanding of that information, when new information may be available to inform a decision, the decision-making timeline, both internally and for the college football playoff, that would be productive use of time.
24 hours later, some intense convos occurred among the SEC football coaches. The major topic was the league's role in the possible expansion of the CFP. We heard from Greg Sankey earlier this week. You just heard him about the SEC being against 24 and maybe going to 16. Bama head coach Kalen DeBoer doesn't have a preference. He just wants his team to win enough to be there.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard the arguments from obviously all of 12, I know it's 12, 16, and 24 seem to be the most popular, right? And so, you know, I mean, I can make an argument for all of them. You know, I know for me, it's really not about a number. It's about just trying to win every football game so we don't have to put it in a committee's hands. And, you know, that's our goal as a program at Alabama.
Now, in the second to last weekend of the regular season, you don't see many SEC teams play big-time football opponents. Most of the opponents are from the Group of Five or even the FCS level. But after this season, that will no longer be the case. This week, Greg Sankey announced that the Cupcake Weekend has been eliminated by the SEC athletic directors. Even team in the Southeastern Conference will now be playing a conference game that week. According to Sankey, the decision was a result of the league transitioning to 9 conference games.
Our ADs voted that our schools will play a conference game, and that next to last weekend, beginning in 2027, we have had a rotation that's had 4 teams with non-conference games or even open dates in that next to last weekend. I think that's the end of Cupcake Weekend in late November. We never got that one sponsored, though.
Lots of coaches spoke this week in Destin. Head over to the FOX54 YouTube page and the FOX54 app to hear the full press conferences from Kalen DeBoer, Auburn's Alex Golesh, Texas headman Steve Sarkisian, and Georgia's Kirby Smart. Download for free and watch on your TV. UNA's first trip to Arkansas will be an afternoon battle that you can see live on national television. This week, the SEC and ESPN unveiled the remaining kickoff times and TV slate for the first 3 weeks with the Lions Week 1 game in Fayetteville is set for 3:15 p.m. The game will air live on SEC Network.
All right, sticking with the SEC, a well-known football coach is back in that conference. Recently, new LSU coach Lane Kiffin hiring Ed Orgeron to be the assistant coach who will lead the charge with recruiting for the Tigers. Coach O was the head man for LSU from 2016 to 2021, leading the Tigers to a national championship following the 2019 season with Joe Burrow as his Heisman Trophy winner. Kiffin and Coach O, they've got a long, lengthy history together. They were at USC under Pete Carroll in the early 2000s, at Tennessee for one season, then at USC again when Kiffin took the head job.
This week, James Clemens Rising senior MJ Gideon committed to Vanderbilt. Last season, the three-star recruit rushed for more than 1,200 yards and scored 15 touchdowns for the Jets. He added 36 catches for 287 yards and another touchdown under his receiving stats. He chose Vandy over the likes of Missouri, Ole Miss, Troy, South Alabama, and Appalachian State. Gideon and the Jets kick off their season against Austin on August 21st.
All right, earlier this week, Josh Jacobs was arrested. The former Alabama standout was arrested and booked on 5 charges stemming from a domestic violence incident last Saturday. He was being held with no bond pending his first court appearance. He's been since released. Last season, he rushed for nearly 1,000 yards and 13 touchdowns on the ground. He also caught 36 passes for 282 yards and 1 touchdown with the Green Bay Packers.
All right, let's take a quick break. Current SEC Network basketball analyst Richard Hendricks returned to his alma mater to coach up the kids. Plus, the U.S. men's soccer team for this year's World Cup was selected. Stay tuned for those stories.
Whoa! The 90s are calling. They want Wendy's Super Value Menu back. It's 10 items for under $3. Junior Cheeseburger Deluxe, Frosty, even Chili. Get any of your faves for less than $3. Only at Wendy's.
Soldier, husband, father. Alabama conservative Barry Moore is rooted in his faith and service to country. It's why President Donald J. Trump endorsed Barry Moore for Senate. Moore is stopping illegal immigration and fighting for the Trump agenda. President Trump knows the Senate needs Barry Moore, giving Barry his complete and total endorsement. Barry Moore, Trump endorsed, Trump approved. Defend American Jobs is responsible for the content of this ad.
How can Consumer Cellular offer fast, reliable coverage and save you up to half? There's got to be a catch, and I'm going to find it by going straight to the CEO himself, Ed Evans. What's up, Ed?
Carrie, here's the secret. We know our customers are going to use a lot less data. We can then set our pricing substantially lower than what the big three are able to do on the exact same network.
Hang on a minute, Ed. Are you saying if I need a lot of data, you don't have a plan for me?
No, in fact, we have all kinds of plans, so you can pay for exactly what you need. Nobody does it better than Consumer Cellular.
It's the Consumer Cellular Summer Switch event. If you're 50 and over, you could cut up to 50% off your big wireless bill. And right now, save an extra $50 off with code SAVE50. All on the network ranked #1 in coverage satisfaction. Call right now and speak with a U.S.-based sales rep in about 15 seconds. So call now and save during the Summer Switch event. Call 1-800-949-4156.
At Planet Fitness, no two members are alike, but they all have one thing in common. They're all strong. That's right. We're all strong on this planet. Planet Fitness.
One more, everybody.
One more?
5 more. What's your case worth? Injury.com by Morgan & Morgan.
Welcome back, everyone. Over the course of the summer, future athletic stars here in the Tennessee Valley, they'll work on their skills by attending various sporting camps. And for basketball cameras in Athens, they're getting a chance to learn from one of the best Golden Eagles in school history. Once again, Coach Corey Walker and Coach Capri Tucker reached out to Richard Hendricks to teach various skills and life lessons at the annual Golden Eagle basketball camp. Hendricks, who serves as a basketball analyst for the Southeastern Conference Network, is a former Alabama Mr. Basketball and earned all-conference honors at Alabama before playing professionally for more than a decade. According to him, teaching at this camp is always a perfect way for Hendricks to give back to a community that's near and dear to his heart.
You have to give the credit to the parents for bringing them out and investing in their children, and that's what Athens has always been about. I wouldn't have been able to make the strides I were to play at high levels and get drafted into the NBA and then beyond, now working still in the collegiate game, if it wasn't for people pouring into me, and this community has done so it's only right for me to do that for the next group.
Despite some leaks last weekend, the official USA men's national team roster for the World Cup was officially announced Tuesday afternoon. Chelsea Torres has more from the Big Apple.
A rowdy atmosphere Tuesday in New York for the reveal of the 2026 U.S. men's national team. 26 players chosen to represent the United States on its home soil.
It definitely is starting to feel real.
The roster includes a mix of veterans and newcomers, the fifth youngest squad the U.S. has ever assembled. Christian Pulisic, Tyler Adams, and Weston McKennie lead the way for the red, white, and blue, poised to make a deep run in the world's biggest soccer tournament.
Everyone that competes in the World Cup competes to win. They come with the mentality of winning. That's what competitors do. That's what we do.
The man tasked with making that happen, Coach Mauricio Pochettino, has an impressive resume, having led Tottenham, Paris Saint-Germain, and Chelsea. This is his first time leading the U.S. men's national team.
I think he's changed the culture of the way that we approach things. Played it at such a high level, coached at such a high level. We really lean on him for his experience.
Pochettino says his goal is reaching the semifinals. That would be the deepest run ever for the U.S. team.
We really believe that we can do a fantastic job, that we can perform.
And the players say they're bought in.
We want this so bad, so, if you're not a little bit nervous, you don't feel it a little bit, you don't care.
And with the American fans behind them every step of the way, they've got every reason to believe. The World Cup kicks off in 2 weeks right here on Fox.
All right, for the first time in 12 years, a player from the state of Alabama is representing the red, the white, and the blue. That player is Chris Richards, the Birmingham native, making his World Cup debut with Team USA, but he's no stranger to international competition. In his career, he's made 36 appearances for the national team and scored 3 goals. Professionally, right now, he plays for Crystal Palace in the Premier League. He is looking forward to it. Now, he did not participate in the game we're going to talk about in just a few moments, but he is a part of the team.
We also know Tim Ream will lead the Stars and Stripes into battle as the captain of this U.S. men's national team. The Charlotte FC defender has captained this U.S. team 16 times already in the Pochettino era. He is the oldest player. He's 38 years old. Here is his initial reactions to the news.
This is more than a dream, come true. I've done everything possible to be a part of this group, to help this group along, and I'm just really, really grateful to be sitting here, to have this honor, and at the same time, it's not going to change what I do or who I am and how I help the group.
All right, speaking of Team USA men's soccer, they were in action today in Charlotte for a friendly against Senegal. We'll pick things up in the 7-minute no score. Christian Pulisic crossing it in front to Sergio Dest for the goal. USA on top 1-0. Get ready, I'm going to talk about Christian a whole lot. 20th minute, here comes the home country again. Ricardo Pepi finds Pulisic, and he dribbles and puts it into the back of the net. Take a look at it again. It's so nice. I'm going to show it to you twice, everybody. 2-0. But Senegal said, hey, we're here to play and put on a show. Habib Diarra plays through the ball ahead to Sadio Mane, and he slots it into the back corner of the net for a goal for Senegal. They trailed 2-1. 53rd minute, still 2-1. Nicholas Jackson steals it and chips it over the head of Matt Turner. Sadio and Mane scores, taps in. We're all tied, everyone, at 2 apiece. In the 63rd minute, though, here comes Timothy Wade, and he crosses it inside to Folarin Bolaji, and he fires it into the bottom corner for a score. That was your game winner. USA squeaks by Senegal in the friendly by a final of 3-2. They've got one more tune-up before the World Cup begins. Speaking of the World Cup, Fox Sports is your home for the biggest sporting event in the world. It's bigger than the Olympics and bigger than the Super Bowl. It all begins right here on FOX54 on June the 11th, so make sure you tune in for all the action. Let's take our final sports media timeout. When we come back, we'll find out which moments were selected as our best of the week. Stay tuned.
Are you ready to save big this summer?
Doesn't everybody want to save money?
The Consumer Cellular Summer Switch event is finally here. you could cut up to 50% off your big wireless bill. And right now, save an extra $50 off with code SAVE50.
That phone call reduced my bill by almost 50%.
I'm saving about $50 a month.
I'm getting big wireless coverage without the big wireless price tag.
I switched to save money. I stayed because I love Consumer Cellular.
Consumer Cellular customers ranked us #1 in network coverage satisfaction.
They have a fabulous product, treat their customers right. It's a no-brainer.
Go save some money. It's just a great deal.
You could cut your bill by up to 50% and call right now to save an extra $50 off with code SAVE50. And AARP members save even more. So call now and save big during the Consumer Cellular Summer Switch event. Call 1-800-399-7936. That's 1-800-399-7936.
Title Max got your money, your real money.
Get started at TitleMax.com and turn your title into real money. You can apply, appraise, and get quick approval before visiting a store.
I got $2,500 with TitleMax.com.
Apply anytime, anywhere, right from your phone. Now that's convenient. Visit TitleMax.com today to find out how much you can get. Don't delay. Help us one click away. Get your title back with TitleMax.
Get your title back with TitleMax.
Sports Extra is sponsored by Alpha Insurance.
Welcome back, everyone. As I mentioned, we've had a jam-packed show, and now it's time to wrap things up with this bad boy, the best of the week. Gabe, you're on top first.
All right, well, in Stanley Cup final news, the Carolina Hurricanes took down the Montreal Canadiens to advance to the Stanley Cup finals. They don't touch the Prince of Wales trophy, but no highlight is my best of the week. Take a look. You can see this is Keandre Miller. You can see his emotions as he holds his newborn baby, Cashton, who was born earlier this month. Miller will make his first ever Stanley Cup Finals appearance this week. The beautiful moments you don't see. This is too great not to share, hence it's why it's my best of the week.
Oh, no, that's absolutely awesome. I just hate that the Zamboni took away just for like 2 seconds. But,
yeah.
Hey, you know, being a dad is always a great thing.
Yeah.
For my best of the week, we're combining basketball and religion. During the NBA postseason, basketball fans outside of San Antonio have been introduced to the Celestian Sisters of St. John Bosco School in Texas. These lovely nuns have gone viral over the past month for being huge fans of the San Antonio Spurs. But this is not a new connection. The nuns' connection with the team stretches all the way back to the late 90s when they had David Robinson and Tim Duncan. In the late 90s, while working closely with the students at St. John Bosco, they began following the team partly as a way to connect with the students. So they've now been hosting watch parties together, and some of the nuns have been showing up in person at the games, which I just think is just, you know, utterly phenomenal, you know, collectively in that space.
I was about to say, I really hope you mentioned the history. These guys are celebrities.
Oh, absolutely.
And I'll tell you what, I guess, well, you know, whatever traditions that they're going, they work. They're in the NBA Finals. Should be a great matchup with New York and San Antonio. Victor Wembanyama. I mean, I'm absolutely stoked for this matchup that we have.
Yeah, you know, a rematch of 1999.
Yeah. I feel like it really has been forever, right? You know, you see both sides. You see Josh Hart with the New York Knicks, and you have all that chemistry there, and you see Wemby with the Spurs.
Correct.
Yeah, they're this young team that's been showing dominance over the last couple of years. They finally made it to this point. I'm excited about it.
No, I'm excited too, man. I think it's going to be an absolutely great NBA Finals. All right, everyone, that'll do it for another episode of FOX54 Sports Section. For Gabe Glassman and the whole crew, I'm Mo Carter. Have a great night. Try to stay dry, and we'll see you next time right here on your favorite show.
Watch